There was once a time that every media outlet attempted to rationalize why they believed Tom Brady wasn't going to have the same success as the season before. I'd like to congratulate Kansas City Chiefs fans because Patrick Mahomes is now getting the same treatment. You know, the NFL had the chance to do the right thing. I believe that the NFL was going to be on the right side of history for the first time ever. Unfortunately, the NFL did what the NFL does. The impact that they've had on Toronto FC, it's undeniable. I understand that you have to defend your quarterback. I understand that you just can't come out and, say, well, we don't want Deshaun anyways. I understand. I get it. I have to do this because I have to appreciate it. Hey, yes, we're back in. Welcome to Ray's Sports Rant at the Dean Blundell Network at deanblundell.com. Also find me at rayroute.com. Ray's Sports Rant is brought to you by the Newsbreak app. Download the 100% free Newsbreak app from the link that I left in the description. Newsbreak is a dynamic app that uses your geolocation and filters out your local news that matters the most to you. Like if you live in Boston, you're not going to be bogged down with news from New York City. The Newsbreak app filters out your local news to keep you up to date with what's happening in your local community. So support Ray Sports Rant by downloading the free Newsbreak app today with the link that I left in the description. All right. I don't understand why the media is so desperate to tear down a great player, right? It wasn't long ago that Patrick Mahomes was the wonder boy of the NFL. And now that Tyreek Hill has been traded to the Miami Dolphins, some are wondering if Mahomes will have the same success. I can't believe I have to say this, but Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. And let me stop all the Tom Brady defenders. Tom Brady's a great quarterback. He's going to go down as the greatest of all time. But how can you rationally look at Patrick Mahomes and determine he's not the best quarterback in the NFL? I'm also ready for the Buffalo Bills fans who are going to scream about Josh Allen. Josh Allen, great quarterback. Allen has a unique skill set that, we haven't seen since Michael Vick. Some would argue with you that Allen is a better version of Vick. I probably wouldn't disagree. But winning matters. Performing in the big moments matters. Going to the Super Bowl matters. So when you add up all the intangibles in success, Patrick Mahomes comes out on top. Maybe next year we'll be having a very legitimate Mahomes versus Allen argument. Maybe Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow takes a step forward. But we don't live in the world of what ifs. We live in a world of what we see now, and right now, no quarterback in the National Football League surpasses Patrick Mahomes. And I won't stand for the media tearing down Patrick Mahomes the same way they tore down Tom Brady. On today's episode of Ray's Sports Rant, I'm going to deep dive on a Stephen A. Smith trying to say that the Chiefs will take a step backwards because of the Tyreek Hill trade, because Patrick Mahomes, like Tom Brady, is too good for that kind of disrespect. And this all came due to fact from a clip I saw on ESPN, and it was Michael Irvin and Stephen A. Smith arguing about whether or not the Kansas City Chiefs were going to take a step backwards this year because Patrick Mahomes no longer has Tyreek Hill to throw the football to. We know what Tyreek Hill's numbers are. Now, they both took opposite sides of the arguments, right? Cal Surprise, as I love all my friends in the U.S., but you guys love manufactured debate, and to me, this was all manufactured debate. However, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play you a clip of what Irvin Smith said during the segment. We'll react to it, and then we'll listen to what Stephen A. Smith had to say. So here's what Michael Irvin had to say.
Listen, I really believe that the answer to that, and it's hard for me to say this, being that I am a wide receiver, and I always want to fight for my wide receivers, I really believe they will not take a step back. Now, let's break this down. Let's talk about what we are talking about here. I've seen Patrick Mahomes in preseason, and I know these have been preseason games, and that's what they are. But this dude has looked as good as you've ever seen a quarterback look in a preseason game. He is playing great football without even his top talent, without Juju Smith-Schuster and all those guys on the field. He's throwing to anybody they can find, anywhere they can find anybody, and he's spreading the football around. It is so difficult. You know, and I know for true comparison reason, and we will do this right here, the true number one receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs has always been Travis Kelce. It's always been Travis Kelce. Now, Tyreek Hill has been the fear that he puts in every defense that tells everybody, back up and let us catch these little balls, let us catch these short passes so I don't have to burn you deep. That's why last season, everybody backed up, played cover 2 shell with real safeties playing very high. That's all to slow down Tyreek Hill. And we watched Patrick Mahomes struggle a little bit through a piece of the season because of that defense. What I see now, Patrick Mahomes has gone back to the drawing board, and he's making sure now that that situation will not happen again. It's great. It's great when you can find a talent like Tyreek Hill and do the things that Tyreek Hill can do. Tyreek Hill beat you deep, and he can beat you coming across the field, but he's still a small guy. He's still a small guy. Let me show you some numbers, Stephen A., because I know you guys like to play with these. When your number one receiver is the 9 route, he's the fast guy, I want you to understand this. If it's a slant route guy like me, you got a 65% completion percentage with 7.2 yards average in 2021. Or a dead guy that I run, you got a 60% completion percentage and an 8.4 yards per average in 2021. If you are the go route guy, like Tyreek Hill is, you only got a 34% completion rate, and you only get 8.4 yards. That's why the fast guy, unless you're a freak, like Julio Jones, can't be your number one guy, the guy that breaks over the field, the guy that runs the slant routes, the deep end routes. And Tyreek Hill, he's a freak of nature, one of the greatest receivers to ever play the game for his size. I've seen him go up and make some great catches at the end of the game. But having spread this ball like Patrick Mahomes is doing right now, it's going to make them even more dangerous. Maybe not as explosive as they were with Tyreek Hill, but certainly more dangerous, and we'll see the best Patrick Mahomes, the Patrick Mahomes that looks like Tom Brady, and that, my dear, would be something that we wouldn't be able to stop.
All right, so again, I feel like this is all cut and paste, Xerox, do it all over again. Replace the New England Patriots with the Kansas City Chiefs. Replace Tom Brady with Patrick Mahomes. I think that you become a victim to your success, because as soon as you kind of reach the pinnacle, as soon as you start being treated like the golden goose, as soon as you start being treated like the best in the NFL, as soon as you're kind of seen as the quote unquote GOAT, you start to get torn down. We saw it with Tom Brady. We saw it in the NBA. We've seen it with LeBron James. And I mean, there's a legitimate argument. I don't believe that LeBron James is the greatest of all time, but I did my episode number 1 of Ray's Sports Rant was about LeBron James and how I think there's a lot of disrespect put to his name. And I think the same comes from the whole Tyreek Hill situation. I think that too many people Patrick Mahomes. I think too many people discount what Patrick Mahomes can bring to the table for a team, for an organization. And we saw Tom Brady recycle through wide receivers, Wes Welker to Julian Edelman. We saw it all happen. We saw the success. We saw more footballs. We've seen him win championships with the likes of Chris Hogan and Danny Amendola and guys like that. So we've seen him win with Gronk, without Gronk. We've seen him win with good defenses, with bad defenses. And I think that Patrick Mahomes is all in the same. And I think that it's a trend, and it's sexy to get into these debates and pretend like these guys aren't, some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. So Michael Irvin. I have to agree with Michael Irvin. I have to look at Michael Irvin, and I have to say I 100% agree with him that I think that the Kansas City Chiefs will just be fine. I don't know if I'm going to say they're going to be better without Tyreek Hill, but I don't see a situation where they're worse. With that being said, let's look what Stephen A. Smith had to say about the situation, because he took the exact opposite approach to it, and we'll react to that. Here's what Stephen A. had to say.
Are you finished?
Now break that down. Yes, I am.
Go ahead, my dear.
I let you talk because, you're the playmaker. You're a Hall of Famer. You played the position. I also let you talk because I was stunned by the blasphemy of your ignorance that I'm so alarmed, I don't even know what to say to you right now. Tyreek Hill is arguably the second best receiver in all of football. I mean, he's right. Listen, we going to say Devontae Adams, size, hands, et cetera, et cetera. Tyreek Hill is a freak. This dude is so electrifying. Go back to the performance against the Buffalo Bills, the same performance where Stephon Diggs, who I got a lot of love and respect for in that divisional playoff game, had 3 receptions for 7 yards. I mean, Tyreek Hill had about 11 receptions for 150 yards. This brother was absolutely sensational. You brought up the percentage of his targets. The last 3 of the last 4 years, he's had a minimum of 1,200 receiving yards, right? Last year, 159 targets, 111 receptions. That's a 69.8% percentage, okay? This is what we're talking about with Tyreek Hill. You bring up, sitting up there, safeties. You got to lay back because you got this explosive, electrifying talent with breakaway speed. Well, here's the part that you left out. Because he's not there, they don't have to lay back more. Now they can suffocate. Now they can step closer to the line of scrimmage. Now they can sit up there and make things more difficult for Travis Kelce, who's your number 1 target, because you don't got them laying back in the cut because they know you can't let Tyreek Hill get behind that defense. Hell, you scared when he in front of you. So don't get me started how you feel at the thought of him getting behind you. It's a wrap. It's over. They don't call him a cheater for nothing. This is who we talking about here. Now, I understand. I'll let you talk. Zip it. I don't want to hear from you right now, because I can't believe what came out of your mouth, okay? This is Tyreek Hill we talking about. I'm not saying the Kansas City Chiefs are going to fall up the map. I'm not saying the Kansas City Chiefs ain't going to make the playoffs. I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes ain't that dude and he ain't as great. And Travis Kelce, my brother from another mother, ain't that dude either. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying, let's not sit here and act like you could lose Tyreek Hill and it don't mean anything. Valdez-Scantling, he wasn't even number 1 guy in Green Bay. We know who that dude was, okay? Juju Smith-Schuster, did you know that brother's back to doing TikToks? You know he's back to doing TikTok videos, right? Didn't I tell you he don't need to be doing no damn TikTok videos? But he's back to doing that, right? So you got that going on. He needs to stop it. He needs to stop it. Focus. No more TikTok, Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy. No more TikTok. What I'm saying to you is, as good as those brothers are, and they can play, they ain't scrubs. And as good as I believe Kansas City will be, let's not act like it ain't going to be a drop-off without Tyreek Hill.
So Stephen A. Smith, obviously very passionate, much more passionate than Michael Irvin in the debate between whether or not the Kansas City Chiefs will, quote-unquote, drop off. Do I believe we could see a different outcome for Kansas City this year in the sense they don't look like the world beaters of the AFC West? Well, you know what? You got to look what happened in that division. The LA Chargers have gotten a whole lot better. The Raiders, better. Broncos, better. I mean, it's the best division in football. But you got a tough AFC. You've got the Buffalo Bills, clearly. Right? I think you can include the New England Patriots, the Miami Dolphins, Tyreek Hill's current team. You got to include the Baltimore Ravens. You got to include the Indianapolis Colts, the Tennessee Titans, the Cincinnati Bengals. There's some good teams in the AFC, so I don't think it's going to be some sort of cakewalk. However, I have sat here as a New England Patriots fan in the prime of Tom Brady. Maybe still in his prime, but the prime of Tom Brady with the Patriots, and I heard, wow, look how good this team has gotten. Look how much better this team is. Look, this team has gotten much better. This team is better. This team's better. This team's better. Everybody's better. And it always ended with the Patriots winning the league, going to the AFC Championship, going to the Super Bowl over and over. Copy, paste, Xerox, rinse, lather, repeat, or whatever they call it. Lather, rinse, repeat. You know what I'm talking about. And I think it's going to be all the same with the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs are a playoff team, despite how stacked the West and the rest of the AFC is. I think Stephen A. is looking for an argument. I think that Patrick Mahomes is going to make things happen with Juju Smith-Schuster and Travis Kelce just because he can. And I kind of got to agree with Michael Irvin. We're seeing the best of Patrick Mahomes right now. He's coming into his own. That's the scary thing about Patrick Mahomes. And I hate the Kansas City Chiefs, so it kills me to say this. But that's the scary thing about him. He's just coming into his own. What's he going to look like this year, next year, as he enters his prime? So Tyreek Hill may be a Miami Dolphin, but I got to disagree with Stephen A. Smith. I don't think you're going to see a significant drop off out of Kansas City this year. All right, hit my music. Ray Sports Rant. I appreciate you guys. Hope you'll come back tomorrow. I think this was episode 6. Brand new little project I'm working on here for the Dean Blundell Network and RayRoute.com. Check out the Newsbreak app. Link in the description. It supports the show. Download the app if you haven't. It helps me. I get a kickback every time you do it. I don't think I got anything left to say. So I'm going to go now. Who knows what we'll be talking about tomorrow? Who's Got Next is coming up on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Mario, Connor, Mike, and myself. I'm sure we got a lot to talk about. And hopefully this toothache I've been dealing with goes away. Until next time, don't forget, you're all legit, kid.